Welcome, retail managers and executives, to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you with us. If you're leading a team, overseeing stores, or managing a retail brand, you already know that customer loyalty is literally everything. But here's the thing, building that loyalty, it doesn't just happen by accident. Today, we're looking at some fantastic source material that provides a highly actionable strategy guide right for your stores. We're not just throwing around theory today. No, we're building your executive playbook from mastering the complete feedback loop. So let me ask you a question. Are you ignoring a gold mine? Be honest with yourself here. When a customer complaint comes across your desk, or, a less than stellar survey drops into your inbox, do you just treat it as mere noise, like an annoyance you just need to smooth over? Well, if you do, you're leaving massive value on the table. Customer complaints and feedback, they shouldn't be seen as an attack. Actually, they're more like unrefined, highly valuable strategic ore. Today, we're going to learn exactly how to mine it, refine it, and use it to elevate your entire business.
All right, here's our operational playbook for today. First, we'll cover the complete feedback strategy. Second, we'll look at executing the internal loop. And third, mastering customer follow-up.
Let's jump right into section 1, the complete feedback strategy, moving beyond just collecting data. Okay, let's really dive into this. What exactly is a complete feedback loop according to the source material? Well, it's defined as the structured process of collecting and analyzing customer feedback to build upon and enhance a company's service levels. Notice the operative words right there, structured process. This isn't just, a suggestion box nailed to the break room wall. It's a comprehensive, systematic approach designed entirely to take what the customer is telling you and directly use it to elevate the service your company provides. Moving on to section 2, executing the internal loop. This is really your operational engine. Now, what's really interesting about this operational engine is the journey. The journey of feedback from raw data to integrated strategy involves 6 critical steps: collection, analysis, cause and effect, sharing, engagement, and finally, metrics. It's like a giant puzzle. You honestly can't skip a single piece without the whole engine sputtering. So let's break down exactly how you navigate this. Right, so step 1 is collection. Bottom line, you cannot fix what you don't capture. The source highlights that feedback absolutely must be gathered everywhere, across multiple distinct touchpoints. We're talking surveys, online forms, social media, and yes, that vital direct interaction when a shopper stops a manager in aisle 4 to grumble about a misplaced price tag. But here's the kicker. It's not just about where you ask, it's about when. You need to capture insights at the time of purchase, actively during the purchase process, and crucially, after a time gap post-purchase, just to see how the product or service holds up in the real world. Then we hit step 2, analysis and interpretation. Once you have all that data pouring in from those different touch points, honestly, it can look like absolute chaos. Imagine a customer ranting online about a broken fitting room door, mixed right in with a glowing 5-star review for a super helpful cashier. To organize all this, you combine your qualitative insights, like those written comments, with your quantitative ratings, and you sort them into specific buckets. For example, surveys might drop right into a product quality bucket. Social media complaints, those might go into billing or customer service, and direct staff interactions can fill the user experience bucket. Sorting the data like this is a real game changer because it helps you identify recurring issues, track their frequency, and most importantly, align this feedback with your overall retail strategy. Next up is step 3, cause and effect analysis. As managers, you really have to look past the surface symptoms. Think about it. If a customer is angry about a long line, the symptom is the wait time, sure. But what's the root cause? Is it a scheduling issue, a broken POS system? The source reminds us that we need to deeply evaluate the data to uncover the actual root causes. And remember, this goes for both positive and negative feedback. If you get an amazing review, you need to know exactly what caused it so you can replicate that magic across all your stores. Step 4 actually brings us right back to our hook from earlier. The source material emphasizes this brilliantly, stating that insights are treated as a gold mine. But, gold isn't really useful if you just bury it in your backyard, right? So step 4 is feedback sharing. You absolutely have to share these insights across your various departments. Cross-departmental sharing turns an isolated customer complaint into a collective, timely resolution process where everyone in the company understands the challenge and works together to fix it. And that leads us to steps 5 and 6, engagement and metrics. These two really tie the whole internal loop together. For customer engagement, you need to conduct regular feedback reviews and actively build out action plans. The text suggests using tech tools like forums and webinars to really deepen your understanding of customer challenges. And how do you know if it's working? Well, you track the success of all this through metrics. Define your key performance indicators, your KPIs, to measure the success of your entire feedback process. Finally, integrate all this data into your CRMs, your customer relationship management systems, so you can create one unified, common customer profile for the whole shebang. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds into mastering customer follow-up. This is all about closing the loop externally. Okay, so an incomplete process basically leaves the customer hanging. They took the time to fill out a survey, and crickets. They heard nothing back. It feels like throwing a rock into a bottomless well. Contrast that with an effective follow-up mechanism. So the crucial point is right here. An effective mechanism ensures the customer stays informed, respected, and valued. Because if they don't feel valued, the feedback loop is completely broken. To guarantee they actually feel that value, there are 3 absolute pillars of external follow-up that you simply must mandate for your frontline and support staff. Number 1, acknowledge feedback. You must inform customers their feedback was received. It's just a simple, immediate acknowledgement we call a close push. Number 2, closure of feedback. You've got to communicate back to the customer regarding their queries with specific action points. And number 3, regular customer updates. Let's look a little closer at those last 2 because they are absolute game changers. Think about it. Providing specific closure to a customer's query doesn't just end a conversation. Direct communication with specific action points makes customers feel completely empowered. They suddenly realize that their voice directly influenced a retailer's actions. They didn't just complain, they actually drove a solution. And that right there is exactly how you turn a frustrated shopper into a fiercely loyal brand advocate. Finally, an effective mechanism proactively updates your customers. Look, if you change a company process or a policy that benefits the shopper based on their feedback, tell them. Proactive updates help customers stay informed, but more importantly, it keeps them completely confident in their decision to spend their hard-earned money at your retail stores. They know for sure that you're actively listening and improving. Which brings us to our final thought today. The reality is, your customers are already talking. They're talking at the checkout counter, they're sounding off on social media, and they're talking through their post-purchase behavior. The gold is already there, literally waiting to be mined. So the only question left for you as a retail leader is this: are you actually closing the loop? Take this playbook, implement these steps internally and externally, and go turn that feedback into your competitive advantage today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.